Witch Watch is hilarious, fun, exciting, and sometimes very sweet. But as with all anime, especially comedies, it's very subjective. So I'm going to get into its style and storytelling to answer the question, is Witch Watch worth watching? Or maybe I should say, was Witch Watch worth watching? The story focuses on Nico and Morihito, childhood friends who are a witch and oni respectively. Due to a prophecy, they must live together, so Morihito can protect the klutzy Nico, while still letting her live a normal life, attending high school. Hijinks ensue. The story is first and foremost a comedy, so regardless of anything else, if you don't find it funny, you are not going to like it. Fortunately, it is very funny. It's usually character or situational based comedy, often involving Nico's magic going haywire. But it's also meta, and it references other anime and manga a lot, but not in an obnoxious way. There's a few episodes where I think the comedy is weaker than the others, and some jokes are very Japanese. But with a rudimentary knowledge of Japan, I think they can be understood, even if it isn't relatable. The story follows a slice of life in episodic format. However, unlike other comedy anime like Love is War and Spy Family, the plot actually progresses through each episode. This is one of my favorite parts of the show. It almost feels like it knows this is the perfect kind of setup to do endless repeating gags, but surprises you by actually showing development relatively quickly. Between these mostly comedic situations, we also get some sweet, tragic, and emotional moments with a lot of the characters. These don't last long, but it doesn't play it off as a joke either, which adds some depth and helps ground this absurd show. There's also some battle aspects, but it's very infrequent and very shallow. The best part about Witch Watch is its characters. They are fantastic. The romance, well, usually lack of romance between the main characters, is incredibly well done. They have a great dynamic. Initially, I assumed the story was setting up certain personalities to come together to clash for the sake of the comedy. It seemed like something I had already seen in Konosuba, Love is War, etc. But then it twists those dynamics to something completely new. And then, even more surprising, it explains and actually develops the characters to learn from their faults and be better people. This is all pretty surprising, coming from what is generally a gag comedy show. There's very little fan service or super perverted characters in this show. It's generally pretty wholesome, or at least at a realistic level. And the animation is really good. I don't know where else to put these points in the video, but I always like to mention them. I love this show so much. It's pure anime, while also being very well written with likable characters. I only have two major complaints. One is that sometimes the comedy doesn't land, but I can easily overlook that with how funny the rest of the show is. And two is that it sometimes over-explains things, which ruins the rewards of just paying attention and remembering earlier setups. But overall, Witch Watch is definitely worth watching if you find it funny. Witch Watch is an A-tier show and it's a 7, or it's a B-tier show and it's an 8. I can't really decide. And that rating will probably change by the time it is finished. It's a 26 episode first season. That's all for me. Looking for a not as good adventure show? Check out this review of The Beginning After the End here on the end screen. Subscribe for more concise anime reviews and recommendations. Jia miao.